Hello my dear health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here, and today I have a super exciting and very useful Okara beetroot burger recipes. This is a zero waste recipe because I'm all about using up everything, every morsel of food we can, and when I make my soy milk I get a lot of Okara pulp left over, so soy pulp. And these burgers are so delicious that I want to keep on making more soy milk just so that I could make these Okara burgers. So let's begin. We will start by frying a couple of ingredients. So I'm preheating my frying pan. This is a non-stick salter frying pan. I really like it, and this Tefal induction hob heats up really quickly too, so I'll link in the description for you if you wanted to get your own, but I definitely recommend especially the salter frying pan. So yeah, it's heating up nicely. So we're gonna start with one medium onion chopped. Also, this is 120 grams of shiitake mushrooms. If you don't have shiitake, you could use button mushrooms as well. Or even oyster, if you have oyster, that would work great too. So we basically want to fry the onions and the mushrooms for a few minutes, maybe up to 5 minutes. And if it starts sticking, just add a bit of water or stock to deglaze the pan. And remember, the mushrooms release their own water and juices, so don't put too much water. As you can see, it started sticking a little bit to the bottom. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons to deglaze the pan and keep on frying. So it's been about 4 to 5 minutes and this is ready. So let's put all the ingredients together now. So now let's put it all together. So we've got one batch of Okara. So this is about 1.5 cups from making about 1 liter of milk that I make my own soy milk. And this Okara has actually been in the freezer and I've defrosted it overnight. Then we've got 2 small slow roasted beetroots. So that'll add to the sweetness and also to this lovely red color. Then we've got 1 cup of cooked brown rice. So it could be basmati or could be short grain rice, whatever you've got on hand. Then we're gonna add our onion and mushroom mixture. Then I've got about a handful of chives, or you could use scallion or green onion chopped up. Then I've got 2 tablespoons of mushroom powder. This is a great addition. It adds this really nice umami flavor. Talking of umami flavor, another ingredient that adds some of it is ketchup. So I've got some just a simple ketchup, so I'll add a tablespoon of that. And then yet another ingredient that adds umami taste is miso paste. So this is a white miso paste, but you could use brown or red as well. Then I've got 2 medium grated carrots. So you can either grate them by hand, which I did, or you could grate it in the same food processor and then change the blade. But I find it's quite a bit messy, so I just prefer to unless I was making a lot of grated something, then I would use food processor. So carrots, and then we're gonna add our spices and salt. So it's about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna, because we had added miso as well and some ketchup, I'll add just half a teaspoon of salt. Should be enough saltiness here. Then, very annoying, my onion powder gets really kind of bitty, so I'm just gonna add, and hopefully my food processor will do a good job of blending it finer. I mean, I could have put in my spice grinder and whizzed it up a little bit, probably better for better distribution. Then I'm gonna put half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna put a teaspoon of ground cumin and another half a teaspoon of smoked paprika to give this nice smokiness. If you don't have smoked paprika, then you can add some liquid smoke instead, so maybe a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. And then the last magic ingredient we'll leave at the end to mix in after we blend everything. So I've blended this for 10 seconds, and it's a good idea to just scrape the sides a little bit to make sure it's distributing well, it's blending up well, and you don't really want to blend it completely to a paste. You want still to see some texture in there. So I think tops will probably need to do it for 30 seconds or so, so maybe another 20 seconds. So yeah, so it seems uniform, but it's still got some little, you know, visible kind of texture in here, which is perfect. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my blade out, and we're gonna add the magic ingredient. So this burger is completely gluten-free because obviously rice is gluten-free, and this is the magic ingredient, psyllium husk. I'll put it in the description below if you never heard of it, psyllium husk. So this is like a husk or a bark of some tree that when then what gets moist, wet, it acts as a binder, as an egg, and it's used in baking mainly. Because we are going to be baking these lovely Okara burgers, and we're not adding any other egg replacer, this will act both as, you know, a binder egg replacer, and also to give a little bit kind of more stiffness, because we're not adding any oat flour or anything. So that will dry out, because the mass was quite wet before, but once you add the psyllium husk and leave it, mix it in and leave it for a few minutes before you form the burger patties, it magically just kind of absorbs lots of water and becomes much firmer to work with. So it's a great ingredient. So these burgers are completely whole food burgers too, which is amazing. Well, actually, ketchup is probably got some non-whole food ingredients, so if you wanted to make it completely whole food, add tomato paste instead. So yeah, so I mixed our psyllium husk, and I'm gonna leave this resting for 5-10 minutes for the psyllium husk to absorb the moisture and also to bind it better. And while we wait for this to firm up, I'm also heating up my pan, so the roasting tin that I'm gonna put my burgers in to bake, I'm heating that up at 200 degrees for a few minutes. So I've got my really hot roasting tin, so careful not to touch it. And the reason why I preheat my roasting tin is because it's great to sear the burgers first, because once it's hot, once you put it on, you'll hear it sizzling a little bit, so it kind of sears and seals in the moisture a little bit. Yeah, you can hear it. So So you just basically form the size of the burger patties you enjoy or prefer, and just put it on to bake. So I normally fit in 6 in here, 6 kind of medium-sized burgers, and then the rest you could either bake, a second batch, or you could even freeze it. So freeze it with layers of wax paper, baking paper. You can just put it in some kind of a container, like a Tupperware box, with the layers of the baking sheet in between, and freeze it, and it works really well. And you can, just bake it from frozen. So that's what I'll probably end up doing. I'll probably freeze some. Now, another quick tip: if you want your burgers to be kind of more perfect, if you like, more round, I've got these silicone rings that I bought for making crumpets, but you could form patties with them. So you would just add your patty in there to the top, kind of press it to try and fill it, and then remove it. So there you have like a little bit more uniform, round looking burger. If you don't have silicone burger molds, you could use just metal round molds as well. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven now on 190 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, but I'll probably flip them after 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes so far, and I'm gonna just flip the burgers. Try and be as gentle as you can, going under and flip. You want to have like a wide, very flat spatula, and try not to damage the next door burger. So yeah, so another 10 minutes and they will be done. The burgers are done and ready for taste testing. Just look at these beauties. Yum. And the best part, the taste testing. So I've got a little piece that I've cut from this burger. Yum. These are delicious. Obviously I'm eating this alone, but you would have that with different sauces, lettuce, some tomato, cucumber, and some kind of bun, obviously, if you're going to have it like that. Yeah, so this is so good. It tastes very umami. And a good thing is I've made these with the roasted carrot as well before. So this time is with the raw carrot. And I don't know which ones I prefer, to be honest. They are both really good, actually. I think maybe the raw carrot gives a little bit more structure to these burgers. But yeah, these are delicious. You have to try these and let me know what you thought. And let me know what are other uses that you use your Okara for making soy milk. And I'm sure I will come up with some other recipes for you to share on the channel too. If you're new here, welcome, and subscribe for more videos like this on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And remember, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in the body. Oh, and don't forget to give me a like as well. See you!